Sure, why not? Let's check out Smug.
Fire, fire, fire.
Checking in on women, chat. Are women okay?
No.
Anyway, let's read this delightful tweet from Lesbian Central. I feel like I'm saying a slur. Lesbian Central says, feminism is fighting for total female liberation. Men are our oppressor class and must be treated with suspicion. What the fuck are you yapping about? Okay. Men are inherently bad is a horrific view to have, by the way. Also thinking this means that it's never getting better, thinking that feminism is pointless. Okay. Okay. And then the original tweet is, humanity sucks, you mean men. Humans are so cruel, you mean men. I don't know, I've seen a few women, like, kill people in cold blood, like, for absolutely no reason, or killing kids. I feel like that's kind of just humanity in general. I feel like women can do fucked up shit, too. Humans destroy the earth, you mean men. Okay. Whoa. That's a bit of a generalization, okay. Humans always default to war. Have you not seen how women treat other women? They would go to war because they said their dress doesn't look that great on them. What do you mean? Maybe not a literal war, but like an emotional war? Sure. Violence and selfishness
engage
is
in
human nature.
psychological warfare.
You mean male nature? No, it's definitely human nature, not male nature. I've seen some selfish fucking women in life. And violent too. Maybe you could even argue and say that violent women exist and they also get violent emotionally and gaslight you and make you feel like you're crazy. Men do it too, but like women, they're really good at it for some reason. I've met some. They crazy. I can fix them. Yeah, I'm sure you can, buddy. Humans cannot be trusted with power. You mean men? No, you're not gonna pull this shit on me. Hold the fucking phone. There are so many politicians all over the world, by the way, that are women that absolutely fuck up everything. Men and women, it doesn't matter the gender, they fuck shit up because they're stupid. Stupidity is not gender assigned. Unfortunately.
Get a perfect example of that with
going back to
Alana's
the original tweet, I don't think there's anything
lessons.
wrong with being suspicious of everybody. Like, I'm scared of people. I don't like interacting with people because I think everyone's out to get me and I get scared. At least I used to think that. It's a schizo thought process. Like, protect yourself is not a bad idea. But she's not doing that. She's targeting men specifically because she hates men, chat. It's so cringe. Most genders have complementary qualities and proficiencies. Let's just agree that best collaborating, contributing are best. Yes, I think there is merit in women being emotional and giving men the perspective that maybe they're being too harsh, or like there have been so many fucking studies done of men and women raising a child, and the man might be doing something harsh and the woman might think it's a bit harsh, but ultimately it's better for the man to do that and then the woman to console the child and make them feel safer. It's a good dynamic to have just from like a primitive basis. The woman is the safety and security. The dad is the discipline, the play, the punishment, the seriousness, but also the play. Yeah, good cop, bad cop. Yeah, like on a very fundamental level. Yeah, I think that's a very natural dynamic, yes. The dad can be both the fun, the video games, and the dad when, oh shit, my dad's gonna come beat my ass kind of thing. Remember when the boy fell out of his chair, mom was gonna help him, but dad kept her away and told him to get up on his own? Yeah, like, again, I don't think it's bad for women to have the need to coddle, because you do need coddling when you're growing up, but there's also a balance of like, honey, I think you're overreacting, just chill for a second and then we'll see, because the men don't have that forward emotional lurch that women have to say, to think like that. And also, a real man, a good man, will think, okay, hold on. my woman is being emotional, I'm gonna find out why and make an assessment, and maybe they'll reconsider what they're doing. I think that's a healthy way to have a relationship. Like, again, with my mom and dad, there's actually a really funny story. There's a story of me taking my scooter with my parents when we were going on a walk, and I went on a really, really tall hill, and I ended up flying down, and I flew like several feet forward and scraped my knees really badly. And my mom and dad at first were like staring at me on the ground, and my mom was like, I remember her face, she was like, I scraped my knees like a good like a couple inches on the ground, and it tore through my jeans and through my leggings that I had on underneath because it was cold. And my mom was freaking out, and then my dad ended up picking up and carrying me home. And I was crying the whole time. And my mom was freaking out. She's like, why did you do that? My dad was like, I mean, it was kind of cool, but like, you just fell over. It's okay. You're gonna be fine. And my mom was the one that coddled me, but my dad ended up carrying me home. And it was like, it's just a good dynamic to have, even on a very primitive level. I didn't fall off. There was a tree, and I didn't see it, that was growing into the asphalt, and I tripped over it, and I flew forward, and I almost landed on my face, but I ended up scraping my knees really badly. But that's besides the point. It was very funny, but you need both, and that's why I think it sucks when like both single dads and single moms have to cope with, I have to do both even though my brain is quite physically incapable of doing both, and I have to compensate and learn and also make a lot of mistakes because I don't have someone else to like bounce off of, if that makes sense. Like, there's men that grow up with single moms and they have like issues. They have like actual mommy and daddy issues, and same with women. Like, this is something that happens. Yeah. The funniest thing about this that now I'm thinking about is that this person says that women are oppressed by men. But name one time men have oppressed you in the Western world in the last month. Like, in my honest opinion, I think that I am quite privileged in my respective, like personally, I'm not talking about like on a global level or anything like that beyond that. In some countries, yes, you're not allowed to vote, you're not allowed to like go outside, you have to cover up, you can't talk, you can't be unaccompanied going outside without a male guardian or whatever, if you're like above a certain age or whatever. It sucks. I don't have to do that. I am very privileged in that regard. I get to go outside. I get to go hang out. I get to talk to men, like outside, unfortunately. Go to the grocery store. I don't have to be supervised the whole time. Yeah. Well, if we're being honest, the Western world men are no longer oppressors, it's corporations, and this is all misplaced anger. I agree. I think it's very misplaced, and it's very weird because they say humans cannot be trusted. You mean men. And it's like, well, there are a lot of evil female CEOs that exist right this second. It's kind of funny when people are like, oh my god, there's no female CEOs. It's like, I can name quite a few. Yeah, they have a lot of money. They have a lot of money and a lot of power. A lot of women in politics that absolutely know nothing how to run a country or do anything, and people are mad at them. It happens on both sides, and I hate it when people say things like, oh, well, she's a woman, she can't do any wrong. It's like, absolutely you fucking can, because you're a human being! You're not a robot, and even robots make mistakes because they bug out!
Preach.
Or they can fucking bug
Preach
out, but like,
sister.
the point still
Preach
stands. Okay, what else? What else is there? Fixed it? What? $10 an hour, $30 an hour, $100 an hour, priceless. $10, $30, $100. Unpaid 24/7 labor, inclusive cooking, child rearing, cleaning, and sex. Wait. What? but your kid, though, if you... Huh? Wait!
Basically saying
What?
the trad wife is a slave to the man.
Are you just implying that you're like a slave?
Yep.
You're just comparing Korea as the last one as a trad wife? I understand that, but it's just kind of weird when you say that because it's like, you're kind of like implying that motherhood is slave labor. Yeah. Does the kid have to pay? Yeah, apparently so. But these are the types of people that grow up and then they make the kid pay rent before they're like 18. Like
Yep.
actual rent. I'm not talking like $5 or something. Yeah, back pay. Oh man, they hate trad wives, huh? That's kind of crazy. It's not, by the way, this is so cringe. Like, my mom grew, like, I understand that some people are not as traditional as, like, the next person, but it's not unpaid labor. It's loving your child that you gave birth to. I would hope that you gave birth to a child that you love, even if it was under stressful circumstances. It's not the child's fault, man. That's why you can argue that, like, inherently a child is innocent, even if it's born to, like, someone that wasn't ready for it. It's like, you still have to love the kid, man. To some extent, you just have to. Kids provide us something intangible, just like mothers. Yeah, let me call up MasterCard and, like, look up child rearing and cleaning and sex as, like, you know, my credit score or whatever. Hello? MasterCard? Can I pay you with love?
Yeah. That would be nice.
Love is priceless. Like, being loved, if you had a family that loves you, or if you have a family that loves you, it's priceless. Absolutely. Also, by the way, thanks to women's rights, now divorces are absolutely leaning into the woman's side. Like 300 years ago, if you got divorced as a woman, you got fuck all. Like, maybe even 200 years ago, I would say. Maybe, actually, you know what? Even 100 years ago. Yeah, before World War I. Yeah, that was a thing that was introduced because of women's rights. If you get divorced, that's what you get.
It was introduced because of the whole men going to war, so the women had to keep the country running. So they ended up getting the rights because they had to run the country while all the men were off killing each other.
You get half as a woman. So it's not even unpaid labor if you end up getting divorced with a kid. Best case scenario, you're staying at home with your kid instead of them being raised by a babysitter or daycare. When I worked a job and I was surrounded by females that have like kids and stuff, I remember them saying like that child, because they had to work, because they had husbands and they had to work, they told me stories of like, oh my god, I have to pay like $600 a month for like child, you know, daycare or babysitting or whatever. And I'm like, holy fuck, that sounds insane. Like, that makes me not want to have kids. Like, honest to god, 600 is cheap in 2025. Again, I don't remember, but like, it's just like what I remember from that.
If you ever
from
decide
when
you
I
want
worked,
to,
but
just give me a
it's
ring.
like, oh my god,
Probably shouldn't say
that's
that. But
crazy. Kitsune! Thank you! That's crazy? That's actually crazy. That's messed up. You're telling me you're crazy. Why are you like this? Thank you. Can I get massive W's in the chat to Kitsune? That's crazy. Good lord, man. That's actually crazy. Daycare expensive, staying home would save so much. I know, but then the argument is like, the extra money that you bring in is probably better than nothing. Like, that's what's fucked, is that people have to have dual income households, and they're kind of forced to.
yeah, and the second
Because
household,
of the economy
second
right
income
now,
is
and like
going
the state of the
purely.
world. If you want
You're
to
only
keep
looking at
up,
a
you usually
part-time
have
job,
to have
not
a
a
dual
full-time
income
job.
household.
Looking at the other partner getting a part-time job so they still take care of the younger kids, and the entire paycheck nowadays is going straight to childcare. Part-time job on average pays dick, really. You're looking at maybe $300-400 a month. and you're looking at that much in childcare, $100 a week for a decent place to drop your kid off.
When my mom stayed home and I was coming home and I was a little kid in elementary and like kindergarten, primary school or whatever. I remember coming home and being so happy when I saw my mom, because it's like warm food at the table. I got to say hi to her. She'd give me a hug, and you know, then I'd go back to school, or like I'd go outside and have fun. And when my parents were basically forced to like both work at the same time, it was really depressing to me. Like the first couple of times I'd come home and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, no one's home, poggers, I get to watch TV. And then like, you know, after a couple of times it just kind of gets sad, chat.
Yeah, you end up getting lonely because
No,
there's
you
nobody
can
there.
live below your means. Stay at home motherhood is possible with costs. Yeah, sweetie. You're right. I'm not gonna argue with you. Anyway. My family was lucky growing up in the late 80s. My parents could have someone stay home. Yeah, also, like, family units is really nice. It has its downsides, but if you have, like, a grandma that's close by, that's probably really nice as well. I'm lucky my dad was a stay-at-home parent. Like, I think any parent, like, having a presence, it's very nice. It sucked when, like, both my parents had to go. This is invaluable. Like, I do genuinely agree that having a mom in the picture is so nice. It would suck without my mom. I think growing up, like, especially, like, between the ages of, like, well, I mean, at any age, but specifically between the ages of 0 to, like, 14, I think that's when it's really important. Anything above that, you can, like, kind of start dealing with not having your parents around all the time. It's, like, a little less, like, it doesn't affect your psyche as much, but I think anything below that is, like, sad. High costs and everything will drive families together, generally the only way to survive.
Yep.
There's so many things to unpack. It's like, okay, grandma wants to move in. Okay, we don't have, like, any space to, like, give her space, and to, like, rent, and, like, people don't let you rent if you have, like, an extra person. Like, what if that person has a lot of stuff? Like, I don't think it's that easy. I think it sucks. But anyway, I digress. This is very anti-trad, everything has to be paid in money. The other thing that really weirds me out about this whole thing is, like, why can't you be okay with something being priceless? I think a man going to work and having to put his entire paycheck into his family instead of himself is also priceless, because he's putting his mental health, his physical health, like, say he's working in the mines, that's also priceless. Like, yeah, he's getting a paycheck, but he's doing damage to his, like, body. Or men that go to war, like, even though they get quote-unquote paid in some capacity, I think it sucks. Like, that's also priceless, just like a trad wife. Mining Bitcoin? No, like, literally mining. I've heard so many stories of people's dads getting permanent damage to their bodies like 20-30 years down the line. That's priceless, because they'll be suffering, or at least being in pain, for most of their life, you know? Also, I think it is pretty pog not having to deal with corporate America if you're, you know, if you're sitting around at home and having your husband go out and do their 9 to 5. I think that's pretty great. I'm a mill worker. I've best a crap, but I also make decent money for the kids, so it's worth it. I know, but you're being very selfless, because all that money goes towards your kids and nothing goes towards you, or very little does, because you love your children. Like, it is a selfless job being a parent, like, both sides. I saw a YouTube show where a group of feminists asking for equal pay were taken to work as garbage men as they started demanding for more money, while one is crying in a corner. I'm pretty sure it was a skit, but an accurate one. I mean, to be fair, being a garbage man sucks. Like, it does. I have respect for garbage men. Oh, we got another one. Oh boy. To the people in the comments saying, comments and quotes saying, nope, we mean humanity. Women are just as bad as men. You stupid. What? Okay. Humans are inherently selfish. Then why do so many cultures value hospitality to the point of dictating it in their religions? Why is it common for hosts to offer their visitors their best food and as much of it as they can? At some point, multiple cultures decided that they knew what it felt like to be vulnerable and alone, and promised each other to not ever let those who stay with them feel that way. That doesn't sound very inherently selfish to me. No, that's actually also, like, yes, there's a grain of truth to this, but the reason why hospitality is a thing is to not appear poor. That's a big part of it. I had a Filipino friend, and she told me about family gatherings where they would have lavish gatherings, but they would basically try to one-up each other. It depends on the culture, sure, but like it's not as innocent. Oh, I love you so much. I'm gonna take care of you. It's almost always associated with like bragging without actually bragging. So actually, technically, it is still selfish. I don't know about the religion part, being dictated with being good to your guests, but yeah, Filipino gatherings are bragging for time for them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had a Filipino friend in my first year of college, and yeah, she told me stories. Because they don't mean humans as a whole, they mean men, cultures, and communities that are created by women. We're the ones offering hospitality and cooking meals while men start wars and rape. Wait, yo, chat, it's time to start war and You hear that? You're not doing your job, chat. As part of your cultural heritage, you need to start R-wording people.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Bro, this can't be real. This can't be real. There's no way this isn't a kid or something. The lack of critical thinking is astounding to me. And yeah, this is the post. Yeah, showing hospitality is like foreign relations 101. First of all, you don't want to appear weak in front of your foe. Like, let's say you're inviting a guest over that's from a different country that you're trying to like have talks with. That's where also hospitality branched from. You don't want to appear weak and offer them shitty stuff. Yeah. Of course. I'm talking if you're inviting your friends over, like, yes, I understand. But from a... how do I say it? From a basic foreign hospitality point of view, it's supposed to be for showing that you are not doing too badly and you're doing well and you want to not appear weak and that you have the money power to look good. The boy just get Domino's for hospitality? Well, I'm not saying like everyone does this, but I'm saying the inherent culture of hospitality. Yeah. I've never judged people based on how they treat me in their house, to be completely honest. My parents were always like that, but like I understand when people are broke. Like, you don't have to fucking roll out the red carpet for me. I understand. If you have a lot of money and you want to ball out, like that's great. Good for you. And showing hospitality is like foreign relations 101. Men and or kings, which is like the dynamic hierarchy of like the kings being powerful, have been showing hospitality to their neighbors, like be it physical or from other countries, for thousands of years. It's how you garner support, allies, friends, and community. This was based off of a primitive need to be kind to your neighbors, to show power, or to your enemies even, like to show that you are not weak. Yeah. Some civilizations have hospitality as a core component of their society. I think most cultures do. Most. I'd be very hard pressed to think of one that doesn't. Look me in the eyes, chat. Look me in the eyes and tell me, if every world leader was replaced by a woman, we wouldn't be in World War III in under 2 weeks.
Absolutely, because they can't get along with themselves any more than...
Some woman would say that girl's dress is ugly, and then the other country gets nuked. Oh man, Chad, I'm gonna nuke the next person. If I become world leader, I'm gonna nuke the next person that calls me ugly. You call me fat? What? Boom! You're getting nuked. Ugly! You're getting nuked. You're getting nuked. Stop it. And that would be Canada? Yeah, I would do it. In a heartbeat, chat. Ugly, your makeup doesn't look good. Treat others the way you want to be treated, you know? I mean, yeah, exactly. Again, it is ingrained in like culture, and like women specifically didn't invent hospitality. I think it was humanity. Who knows? Maybe like if you go back far enough, maybe. Hold on. I've got a thought process here. Maybe if you go back far enough, like cavemen invited their friends over, and then their woman has like a saber-toothed tiger and she's preparing it. She's like, oh, do you guys want some ooga booga booga? And then they're like, oh yeah, sure. And then they make like fucking saber tiger steaks, and the woman like comes out and gives it to them, and then the husband is like, oh, thank you, wife.
You're
Thank
getting a
you,
little,
wife. I appreciate that. And then that became
off topic
hospitality.
there,
You don't know that, but like it makes sense. You know, because the woman's like the one that's preparing after the hunt, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's not correlated with a singular gender being like in charge, or the idea coming from a woman. Upper class system. Wait, upper class is really doing a good job in brainwashing people into not noticing the class system in the Western world. The fact that us in the middle class and poverty are all infighting, well, the rich get richer, just proves that they already won. Oh, absolutely. And then we're all fighting each other over the dumbest shit, too. Yeah, the brainwashing has absolutely worked. Men and women fighting each other? No. We're trying to blame each other and say men bad, woman bad, but not rich people. Insanely rich people. I'm not even talking about, like, fucking upper fucking class. I'm talking about, like, the 1%. The culture war? Yeah, it's all just a fucking distraction. It's all, in the end, all these, like, wars that people are having, like, the gender wars, the culture wars, it all ends up being, like, a distraction. Everyone bad except me. Okay, one more chat. Oh my god. Wait, it's the same person! The males are mad as frick in the comments section. A girl shoots her boyfriend 23 times in the chest for liking another girl's Instagram post. What? What? 23 times in the chest. Why shouldn't they be mad? If the roles were reversed, people would be schizoing out. What are we talking about? How is this funny? This is so sad. 23 times. Yes, like she actually dumped and then like reloaded and dumped again. That means you have to like consciously be shooting the whole time. Like if you're dissociated and you're freaking out, she was dissociated or being a schizo the whole time. Just like bang 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 bang. Like what the fuck, man? I feel like after 2 bangs you'd be good. That is some serious fucking, like, you have got something wrong with you, man. Yeah, at least once. You can't even argue that she didn't do a whole dump, like, depending on what she used. Good lord, is this real? She was girl bossing? You wouldn't understand. Yes, I need a chat. Remember, if you watch another VTuber stream, I will shoot you 23 times in the chest to make sure you're dead. That's what we do, right? Girl shoots her boyfriend 23 times in the chest for liking another girl's Instagram. Is this real? Okay, I can't find anything. There are stories of women shooting their boyfriends, but it's not this one. Okay, it's not real. This specifically is not real. However, I'll watch Feline on the side. That's 23 shots right there. I've also heard of women going crazy when they're pregnant and like cutting their own stomach up because they don't want to have the baby because their boyfriend did something like that they didn't like. I've heard that story. Yeah, no, this is an actual story. She went crazy, man. It's very sad. Yeah, she cut herself open and like discarded the, you know, the fucking the body. A girl stabbed her boyfriend over 100 times, got off because she was high on weed and said she dissociated. No, I understand that there's drugs involved, or maybe you have like a severe mental illness, but like, Jesus, dude. Good lord, man. It's very sad. Hold on, there is another one, chat. Another one. It's so wild when men publicly announce they would never date a girl who does OnlyFans. So like, you don't want a girl who's attractive, sexually adventurous, business savvy, and will provide you hundreds of high quality nudes. Weird flex, but okay. Yeah, weak sauce, control freak. Okay, first of all, people can have preferences. You're allowed to have preferences. Some people don't mind. Some people really do, and that's okay. That means that people are allowed to have an opinion. Second of all, your vanity is showing. What if when you start hitting the wall and you get dumped because they don't think you're attractive anymore? Like, I don't know. I think it's cool if you think you're sexy and attractive and you're sexually adventurous and you make a lot of money, but like at a certain point, you will hit a wall. Would this imply women who don't do OF are ugly? Yes, essentially. That's what I'm saying. Like, the vanity is really showing on this one. If I was a dude, I wouldn't, just because to me, when a woman shows her body to other men, it's like this is how I would feel. And I don't know how chat feels. This is just my opinion. Don't shoot me. I feel like your body is like, it's important, and if you show that to everyone else, it's not special. Like, everybody else has seen it, and it doesn't. Again, this is like a really high emotional topic, and I think it's like, I don't know, it just wouldn't feel special, even if it's just looking at my woman like completely bare naked. Like, I understand some people feel like going to the beach in a bikini is also like to the level of having an OF. I know there are people that think like that too, and that's fine. I just think you're gonna have a hard time finding a woman that's like that. But full-on nudity, like you're showing your boobies, your hoo-ha, and your butthole, like full-on, I think that's when I would draw the line. Relationship is mysterious between two people. If everyone else has seen us, it's no longer mysterious. It's not even that. I feel like maybe it's like a primal.
It's not special
thing
between.
In my brain. Again, I'm not a man, but I feel like if I was a man and I was with a woman and she's showing her bits online, and I knew that there were people out there beating off to my woman and all of her lady parts. It's not like even imaginary where it's like an actor and you've never seen them naked kind of thing. Because I'm sure there's people that beat off to women that are completely clothed. Like, that's completely normal, right? But it goes even deeper when you willingly do that, to just expose yourself. But again, if you're okay with that, like, that's cool, man. Like, you do you, queen, king. I don't think it's healthy. I think there's a problem. I think it warps your relationship to some extent, but again, I can't say for certain because I've never been in that position. So yeah, it's their life. I'm allowed to have an opinion, and they're also allowed to have an opinion on me, and that's okay. Don't let anyone shame you for wanting a traditional relationship. Well, to some, a traditional relationship also means never going to the beach in a bikini and like doing that kind of thing. How old are you who uses the word hoo-ha? Okay, I'll call it a fucking pussy, a vagina. What do you want me to call it? Yeah, does it matter what I use? You still understood what I said, huh? A coochie, a snatch, a vagina, a hole. Do you want me to say hole? Is that better? Anyway. Also, this also goes back to what I was saying. Women claim men only want one thing, brackets sex, and it's disgusting. The meme. Do you guys know that meme? And then post shit like this. That's the weird double standard that I don't like about women saying, like, oh my god, men only want me for my freaking body. Ugh, it's so gross and annoying and I hate it. Why wouldn't you want a woman that sexualizes herself to the highest extent possible for profit? By the way, very corporate mindset, but that's neither here nor there. And in the same breath, why do men always sexualize women? Crazy. Masterful gambit. I have been duped. Impressive. The lack of self-awareness is only second to their lack of the father figure, man. I don't know, it's like a big tell to me. Men only want one thing, and it's disgusting. Wash it then.
Right?
I mean, it's not even about washing or not. It's like, if you say one thing... Again, I find it really weird. Again, this is my opinion. Don't get mad. When girls have OnlyFans and they have chats that dirty talk with men and post nudes and create images that they send to those men, and then they get weirded out that men are grossly sexualizing them. I mean, it sucks, but it's like, it's always there. You get sexualized no matter what as a woman, but you're like putting it to like 100? It's a flex. You think so?
Yeah.
Have their cake and eat it too. That's a good phrase. You mean outside their work? No, not outside their work. Like, you have like Twitter, for example, and you post like sexualized cosplays or something. Like with you're wearing a micro bikini, and then you're like, oh my gosh, guys, if you want to see more, go to my OF. And then there's a bunch of men that say horny stuff like, I want to fuck you, or I want to Google this like 15 times. And then they say, oh my god, oh, that's so gross, I hate men so much. It's like, well,
you kind of brought it on yourself.
Know. It's kind of part of your field of work, is it not? It's part of the job. It sucks, but... And again, it's part of being a woman to be sexualized. It sucks. You have to deal with it.
Unless you like it.
I'm sure there were men that were like, you know, if you're walking down the street and you're completely clothed, there's just like men that are like, oh my god, I want to goonda her so bad. Oh my god, she's so pretty. I hate men so much. She was asking for it? No, that's not what I fucking said. Use your brain, don't say dumb shit, and then extrapolate it to what I said.
Yeah.
Women do like attention. Women like attention from the right men.
Yeah, that's the big difference there.
Yeah, from the right men. If you're a 400-pound man like me, and you say, oh my god, your dress is so pretty, someone's gonna call you out and call you a disgusting fucking fat man who's sexualizing women. I'm not the right man, chat. That's why I don't say anything. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Your employee Max Smith is a bigot. Fire him or else. Well then, surely you won't mind this. Hi, your daughter sells nudes on OnlyFans. Cucumber in vagina. This is actually such a funny, stupid drawing. Cucumber vagina.
Yeah, but it is actually pretty accurate there. Woo!
I mean, it is a double standard.
Welcome.
I'll give him that.
Oh, goodbye.
It goes both ways, of course. Classic. Classic.
Fire, 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 fire.